One of my favorite things about being an AOPI is how involved AOPI is in community service in Tuscaloosa and on our campus. Last year, our chapter logged over 3,000 hours of community service in Tuscaloosa alone. And I just think that's so incredible that our girls are so willing to give back to our community. A lot of our members are involved in things like UABM, Alice Pals, Habitat for Humanity, Relay for Life. I personally am involved in UA Dance Marathon, which is an organization on campus, actually one of the biggest philanthropic organizations on campus. And we fundraise all year long for the Children's Miracle Network Hospital in Birmingham. And me and two of my pledge sisters are on the exec board for UADM, so that's a really fun thing to do.
So we as a chapter have 3 signature events that we do every year that raises money for the Arthritis Foundation. The first is Run for Roses, which is a 5K that we hold in the spring. And we get really dressed up and we do a 5K around campus, and it's usually during our parents' weekend, so we get to see a lot of our families and other Greek community members who come to support us in the Arthritis Foundation. We also have Strikeout Arthritis, which is a kickball tournament that we hold in the fall, and that's really fun. We encourage other Greek organizations to make kickball teams and compete against each other, and then we have a trophy for the winner, of course. And then our last event of the year, of the calendar year, is Jingle Bell Run, which is really exciting because we partnered directly with the Birmingham chapter of the Arthritis Foundation for that. And we hold a kind of satellite run for the big Jingle Bell Run in Birmingham. And we get all decked out in holiday gear, and we do a 5K around campus. Not a lot of people know very much about arthritis and the Arthritis Foundation, but really it's the #1 cause of disability in the United States, so it's an incredibly widespread problem that we get to address as a chapter. There are over 100 different forms of arthritis, which a lot of people don't know, don't realize. It also affects young children, and we see that through our work with Camp MASH and through our work with the juvenile arthritis families through the Birmingham chapter of the Arthritis Foundation. And so it's a really cool thing that we get to put a face to the cause and also kind of share and spread awareness about a cause that a lot of people don't know needs their support.
The last 2 summers, I've had the opportunity to volunteer my time as a counselor at Camp MASH, which stands for Make Arthritis Stop Hurting. It's a camp for kids from the age of 7 to 17 who have juvenile arthritis. Because of this disease, these children face more difficulties in their everyday activities. So at Camp MASH, we make it possible for them to have a fun summer camp experience. Every morning we woke up and we immediately went to the med shed so that these kids could take their multiple forms of medications. I didn't realize how hard it was for them to actually get their day started and to get moving. Some of the fun things they got to do were horseback riding, swimming, ropes courses, arts and crafts. Every night we have a different theme, and my favorite was Messy Night. Ooh, the first night we had a scavenger hunt, and that was so much fun because it was in the dark and all the kids were just running around. The last night of camp, we have a dance, and it's just a fun night where these kids get to just enjoy themselves and not worry about anything that they usually have to worry about.
So not only do we support our own philanthropy, but we're also able to support the philanthropy of other Greek orgs on campus.
I love going to other fraternity and sororities philanthropy events throughout the year and seeing so many AOPI sisters there supporting our Greek community. I think it says a lot about how involved our chapter is on this campus.
We participate in Alabama Greek missions events, Tots for Paws, AOII, and a whole host of events that support the charitable causes of other organizations.
So we have this philanthropy panda that likes to make an appearance at all of our philanthropy events and other organizations' philanthropy events. So if you ever see a large panda suit on campus, it's probably an AOPI going to a philanthropy event.